Welcome to the Echo Sportscast number 10.
I'm Paul McLean.
And I'm Dave Dale. Today's package includes the kicking off with the NDA hockey season. We actually have a student-generated cinematographer, Connor Hughes. He's done some great stuff.
Great video that we found on Instagram, so definitely want people to follow him. And we're looking for more contributions from guys who want to do this, guys and girls that are interested in media. It's great. We want to show it. So there's an OFSAA Girls Basketball Championship that's taking place this week in North Bay. Playoffs are set for Saturday at West Ferris and the Chippewa gyms. We checked out the opening game Thursday morning between West Ferris and Stratford. So Dave's got some great video of that.
Speaking of OFSAA, we are keeping an eye on the Chippewa Ravens. They're in Kingston, and they're in the AAA provincials. Their first game was Thursday morning. I don't have the results for you, but check them out. The OFSAA site can lead you to where you need to go. They actually have some live stream too. In
post-secondary action, we've got interviews with 5 local products of the Nipissing Lakers men's hockey team, including both the goalies. And we're following the much-needed 2-win victory weekend at the Gardens, and including an overtime win, both games over Laurier. The Echo Spotlight interview this week is with Darren Turcotte, coach of Lakers women's hockey team, ranked 3rd in the nation with a 9-1 record, and on their way to promoting their Saturday night game against Wilfrid Laurier with an 8 o'clock start time.
And we have more than that. But first, let's listen to our title sponsor, Twiggs Coffee Roasters.
North Bay Echo is proud to partner with Twiggs Coffee Roasters, a part of the community since 1995. Twiggs offers a wide selection of quality beans, fresh roasted in-house every day. Find your favorite specialty drinks at our espresso bar, rejuvenate with freshly squeezed juice, or treat yourself to mouth-watering selections from our gourmet deli. And don't forget our irresistible fresh baked goods, including uncompromising gluten-free options. Twiggs has 5 locations to serve you, from North Bay to Sturgeon Falls to Sudbury. Order online for pickup at twigs.ca. And coming soon, you'll be able to order fresh roasted coffee beans direct to your doorstep from our distribution center in North Bay.
The Echo Sportscast is happy to be able to put a spotlight on local creators. This week we have Connor Hughes, who covered the first NDA game on the Friday night. It was an overtime win between Chippewa, which is the defending Nugget Shield champions. They won 4-3 over the Bears in overtime. He got some great footage, a couple good goals, and then he put together a little bit of a Instagram package, a reel that looks really cool. And he took off some still photos, which I really like. I like to capture those still moments, and it really shows the emotion of the players. He does a really good job of cropping and making sure that that is the element in the photo. We welcome submissions. Email for me is editor@northbayecho.ca. We hope to be able to put the spotlight on other creatives that are going to the NDA hockey games, or any games in North Bay for that matter. We hope to have a variety of people capturing the action. Getting into the NDA hockey, which I was at the game between the Bears and the Barons on Wednesday night at West Ferris Arena. I left before it was over. It was 4-1 for the Bears. They seemed like they were in control. I got a couple little highlights. There was a little bit of a fight. There's a couple checks. There's a couple goals. Lots of celebrations. I think it's a rough and tough league for sure.
Well, I know I've been seeing the guys getting ready, practicing, waiting for the football season to end, because that's the progression to where we get into for the hockey season. But yeah, I know they've been chomping at the bit, and they look great out there. Those teams are all really decked out, some great colors flying around, some nice new jerseys I've seen. So yeah, it's exciting to see NDA hockey back, and they're going to be going at it all year.
It's not how you play, it's how you look, right?
Yeah, exactly. Look good, feel good, play good.
Well, the other night there was Jacob McGill with the Barons, and he just got back from a little bit of a shellacking out in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah.
Algonquin did well for the first quarter for the football NOSSA, but the Cora Colts were too much, and their running back was way too much.
Yeah. Well, we were, how'd we do on the over-under on that one?
We did not very good.
We did not very good.
I lost that one. I was way off. I think they ended up losing something like 30-something to 6 or something. But they got on the scoreboard.
Yeah. No, that's great. In a highly competitive game between two NDA contenders, Chippewa edged the Scholar Bears 4-3 in overtime. Veteran Nick Plesney opened the scoring for the Ravens in the first period. The back-and-forth play between the two squads resulted in a 2-2 tie going into the third, thanks to Chippewa's captain Carter Thibodeau. After a goal by the Bears late in the third to take the lead, assistant captain Gavin Thibodeau tied the game on the power play, sending the game to overtime. In overtime, fifth-year veteran Hayden Casey sealed the game with a nice move in front of the Bears goalie.
Well, by the way, what Paul was reading came from the Chippewa Ravens Facebook post. We haven't quite got our gears in order of getting the score sheets from the NDA hockey yet, but we will. So that's why we didn't have the Bears scores. They also, of course, they want to pat each other on the back on social media. And that's great. We'll take that as well. All the coaches that want to send us information, we'll use it in the Sportscast. The rest of what they were doing in that post, coaches Richardson, Melnick, and McMullen were all proud of all the boys, especially the guys that got to play their first NDA hockey games. Got Caleb Johns, Colton Yurlitz-Jolly, Caden Allison, Owen Albert, and Drayden Fernandez. And Grayson Bradley was rewarded the horns for the great defensive play. I see their photos all the time when they put them on Twitter, and it's kind of cool. They put that the hat on and.
The player of the game for them. It's a great little tradition that's kind of crept out of the NHL, and we're seeing it more and more of the youth teams. It's a great way to kind of finish the game strong and recognize somebody. And for those kids making the jump to the NDA from their minor hockey, it's an adjustment, but it's also a really exciting chance to get to play more games at home in front of not only your family and friends, but all of your classmates and everybody that goes, and it's great atmosphere when you get into those rinks and you hear everybody cheering and going nuts.
I loved it when my little guy graduated to high school hockey because you don't have to do anything but show up. Yeah. And you don't have to stay. And you don't have to take them home.
I can't tell you how many parents have told me that coming in the store, just saying like they're just so excited that they're not driving to Timmins this weekend or they're not going to the Sioux and they get to see their kids play. And it's a really great atmosphere, and I've always been impressed ever since I moved up here at how much everybody sort of rallies behind the schools and gets out there, and the school spirit's exciting.
I also want to tell you about the upcoming 49th annual NDA High School Hockey Tournament. It's going to be held next Thursday and Friday, November 28th and 29th. It starts off early in the morning between Chippewa and Cora from the Sioux at 8 a.m. at Memorial Gardens. After the first game, it's Scholar Hall and Franco Cite at 9:30. We have Confed and Llewellyn from Sudbury at 11, Horizon and St. Benedict at noon. Check out the North Bay Echo newsletter on Tuesday for the full schedule. Championship games start with semifinals on the Friday at 2 o'clock. The other semifinal will be at 3 o'clock. And the championship game for the tournament is at 7:30. All those are at Memorial Gardens. And other NDA action, the Algonquin Barons, they won their NOSSA, the beaten Horizon in Sudbury, 59-55 in overtime, their first senior championship since 2013.
And that was probably a Tim Lowe coach team, I'm assuming?
More than likely, or it was, probably was.
I think it was.
So if you haven't seen it, we interviewed Tim Lowe a little while ago for our spotlight, and he's graduated to now chair the North Bay Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Last week, Algonquin won their NDA banner by beating the Scholar Bears in overtime to sweep their best-of-3 series.
This is their post on Facebook. Algonquin really supports their student-athletes, and this is what they said. The road to the final wasn't easy for the Barons. Their tournament journey began with a tough opening round loss to Horizon, but they bounced back in spectacular fashion. Facing a must-win scenario in their second game, the Barons overcame an early 20-point deficit to defeat the White Pines Wolverines from Sault Ste. Marie 59-53. I've actually knew that about that team. They just don't stop. They don't give up. They have no quit.
Sometimes that second chance to go back, obviously the coaches were able to regroup and come up with a plan. And now we're sitting here looking at having 3 senior teams away at OFSAA. Again, just like we talked about, the boys volleyball and the 2 basketball teams for the girls.
So they won with a combination of tenacious defense and key rebound efforts from Aurora Edwards. Maya Carruthers and Emily LaChapelle, who proved crucial as the Barons mounted their comeback. Whoever wrote that could do sports.
Could do sports, yeah.
I like that. They did a good job. The NDA has announced its all-star game for the girls basketball. It's going to be Wednesday, November 27th in both junior girls and senior girls. Tip-off for the juniors at 5:30 p.m. Tip-off for the seniors is at 7 o'clock. Both games at West Ferris Secondary School, Wednesday, November 27th. They've also listed their league MVPs. For the junior girls, we have Jillian Mitchell from Scholar, Ava Park from Scholar, Mishi Dokis from West Ferris, Emerson Tuami from Algonquin, Grace Robertson from Chippewa. In the senior girls, the MVPs are Vanessa Zolak from Algonquin, Isabel Barubi from Algonquin, Mira Perron from Scholar, Sadie Strong from West Ferris, and Annie Bowl from Chippewa. Chippewa Ravens senior boys volleyball did not win their NOSSA championship last Friday. I was actually, I showed up at 4 o'clock expecting to be there in the championship game, and Llewellyn had eliminated them. I talked to Craig, the coach, and his star center actually injured his shoulder. So they were working on a little bit of change to the roster up there.
Some adjustments and people playing other positions they're maybe not used to. And so, that makes it difficult. But
yeah, so they're going to... he had a week to figure out how to make all those adjustments. He had some other ideas, and hopefully that pays off at the AAA OFSAA provincials in Kingston. We'll find out soon enough.
We'll be able to report on it next week on how everybody did at their OFSAAs.
So no matter how Chippewa does at its OFSAA, we're going to get to see those guys play again. I think there's 7 team members on the all-star team, and they're going to have an all-star game for both the seniors and the juniors at Algonquin on November 25th. It was cool dropping by West Ferris to check out the OFSAA provincial basketball. It brought back some memories. He used to go, my son went there, of course, and walking through the halls and then bumping into the teachers. They're asking him how he's doing, so it was nice to chat with a few of them. It was the gym was loud and proud. They were actually, you'll see it in the clips that they were pounding on the bleachers, breaking all the OFSAA rules, distracting, and nobody cared. It was great. It was good environment.
It's a great gym in there. Long history of West Ferris doing and Chippewa as well, hosting OFSAAs, and going back to the days of Larry Tugas getting those OFSAAs here and kind of starting that trend. Sam Levesque is the convener for this year's OFSAA, and he's got some amazing help from Dan Coutu, Rob Brady, Sean Mullen, and Aaron and Mark Robertson. All people with a lot of experience bringing these things together, giving an amazing experience to the kids that get to come here. Mark did the emceeing last night at the banquet. It just lit the room up. He was on fire with just the quick one-liners and the zingers. We know from interviewing him with football that he's a very smart and very funny guy. So he did a great job, and there are a lot of good reviews for it. So
I was actually chatting with Tom Martineau, who's a photographer and a teacher. He's actually retiring, right?
Yep.
Can you believe that?
But it's so funny. I don't know.
He looks like he's 12 sometimes when he doesn't have a mustache.
And he's going to be really busy in retirement because he does such an amazing job doing photos for all the different sports teams. So my daughter's teams have had it, and we actually just had him out for Hockey for Beginners. We did their media day on Tuesday night. So Laura was kind of organized that, and they were all parading upstairs to West Ferris in the auditorium, and we had the setup there. So it's really cool to watch the kids and the pictures. He turned it around right away, so got great reviews from parents. They're so excited to have their little kids. They're struggling to put their stick behind their head. Some of them can't make everything move, but there's really cute photos, and those are memories that'll last, and Tom does a great job with it.
Yeah, no, he's talking about it. He's looking forward to being real busy as soon as he retires, and he does a good job. I think you guys are spoiling those kids, by the way. What are they going to expect later?
I know we don't hand out Stanley Cups at the end or anything, but we want to make sure that they get the full experience. And it's been a lot of fun. I don't know how I missed you actually, because I was in the gym too. I talked to Tom, but we were quickly setting up some of the stuff, the merch that
nobody sees girls. Me come and go. I'm a ghost. Yeah,
I snuck in the side door too. We were unloading boxes. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it was a decent basketball for sure. They were up against a tough team. I think there was one point they got all 5 of their own rebounds. Stratford was just owning them. A real tough challenge for West Ferris, but they were they weren't quitting, and they kept trying, which is what you want from a team. Maybe they'll have better luck in the consolation bracket, but it was good. It was good, and it's good for the city to be hosting these provincials.
Up next, we've got our spotlight interview with Darren Turcotte ahead of this weekend's exciting games with Laurier and the 8 o'clock late start. So before you head out to the game, be sure to go out and grab something to eat, and it'd be a great time to go to Casey's.
That's going to be my plan. I'm going to go there. I'm going to have a Caesar, and then I'm going to go to the Lakers game, and that's what I'm going to do. I like Caesars.
So I might have to stop in then and get some chicken wings, because I really love their dusted wings. I think they've got some of the best wings in town. And then on top of that, maybe a little Blue Moon to wash it down and get over to the game. The 8 o'clock, Turk mentioned that in the interview, said Hockey Night in Canada, because that reminds me back when Hockey Night in Canada used to start at 8 o'clock before they switched to 7 to get the late West Coast games in. But a little bit of an old throwback with Turk, and it was a lot of fun. I guess it's actually a Belgian moon in Canada, but it's just a wheat beer. It's just really tasty. Can't have too many of them, but that's my kind of go-to draft beer when I go to Casey's.
Barley sandwich.
Got to get it some way. That's how I get stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, Casey's is good restaurant. It's iconic here in North Bay. I know I have a buddy from Ottawa, and when he passes through, and he always wants to meet me there for something.
They do a great job in there. I mean, and the bar's always serving food late, so when you're looking for somewhere to go after your game, it's a great spot to stop in. And usually lots of sports on TV, and lots of sports to talk about in there.
Yeah. Perfectly located right at the bypass.
So join us at Casey's for a weekend filled with good food, great drinks, and even better company. And now we'll throw it over to Darren.
We're heading near the end of what we call our Echo Spotlight interview, and we've covered a lot of ground here. Darren, could you leave us with something about the importance of hockey in North Bay and girls hockey, but minor hockey is what it does for people in their development of character and making good people?
Yeah, I think obviously, hockey or sport in general is, a great opportunity for kids to get out of the house, in pretty much a safe environment. Mm-hmm. I think it's important that the coaches or the leaders or the people in charge, really use it as a tool to, teach the kids some type of a life lesson. I know that there were former Choppers and former Pine Hill players at the celebration of life that respected my dad because he taught them something that they were able to use later on in life. Mm-hmm. And, when I started coaching and, I had, a young 7-year-old team and I went to a lot of conferences, but one quote that always stuck out in my mind was that, kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Wow. And, you have to, I know it's many of the positions are volunteer positions, but you have to care for the kids. And sometimes caring means not necessarily agreeing with them all the time. Mm-hmm. You've got to teach them how to win. You've got to teach them how to lose. If you win all the time, then 10 years down the road, when a kid graduates from university and doesn't get that job, they're going to be devastated because they've never lost. Mm-hmm. And, same. And then on the flip side, the winning side, you've got to learn to win, win the right way. And, just kind of accept the win, enjoy it within your teammate or, within your team, but not, go out and gloat about it. And it's just, again, it's just sports is just a pathway to having mature adults give the young athletes another pathway to becoming a better person.
Well, we could do this all day because we haven't even really touched on any good hockey stories from the
talk
NHL.
to me all the time, but now I don't see it very much.
Yeah, he's a big podcast star.
And when we golf together, I'm like going down the middle, and you're always in the bush.
I am in the bush trying to find more golf balls. So yeah, we can talk about golf games and NHL stories. Going to the Eastern Finals with the Ranger one, that was great. Doing that, I think I've told that one on here a bit about that. But your stories about Nashville and what it was like to be there at the start of expansion team.
There's lots of stories.
Yeah, we'll have you back. We can.
Thanks.
Do this. But no, thanks so much for coming in, and that was great.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So,
and maybe someday I can help you write that book.
Yeah, I never really finished that book. I have a lot of work to do with that. So
I think you've got a few chapters still left to write.
So it's actually funny because I started trying to write a book. I don't know exactly when, but I was going to go through the entire alphabet, A to Z, and then basically pick a word for youth players and junior players and professional players and parents, and just like accountability or whatever the word was, and then just write something about what you had to do as a youth player to accountability would be a bad one for youth players, but I read back through it and think about just some different things that I've had kind of or happen during my coaching career or running a rink down in Nashville, and little things like paying to play.
Yeah.
So if everybody has to pay to play or pay for their kids to play hockey. So do you look at it as, as a donation or an investment? So I don't know what letter that was, and it still rings true. Like if you had to pay $500 for your kid to play minor hockey this year, and you looked at it as, I'm going to donate $500 to North Bay Minor Hockey or North Bay Girls Hockey Association so that my kid can play hockey, your stress point would be minimal. Just like when you take $500 and you donate it to the Red Cross. It's like, here you go, and do what you need to do with it.
Yeah.
But if it's an investment and you took $500 and you put it in the stock market, every day you're like,
where's my return?
Am I up? Am I down? Am I up? Am I down? So if you invest that same $500 for your kid to play, and you invest it in the North Bay Minor Hockey Association, all it does is create trouble.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, you don't want to lose in the stock market. So as soon as you invest in your kid to play hockey, losing is not an option anymore.
Business transaction. It's a business transaction.
It's a business transaction. But if you just donated it to the Red Cross, donated it to North Bay Minor Hockey, all right.
You look at it different.
Have fun.
Yeah.
So that was just one of the little,
but it's a great way to look at it.
One page of whatever 400 pages of the book that I was going to write. And
well, maybe what you need to do is come in and talk about those things like this.
Well, I could do that.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah.
when Paul invites me back.
After you win the national championship.
Yeah, sure.
Founded in 1968, Voyager Aviation is a proud member of our community, providing worldwide aviation services from our headquarters right here in North Bay. If you're looking for a challenge, change, or want to expand your current career in aviation, Voyager is hiring for a wide range of technical and non-technical roles, including pilots, aircraft maintenance personnel, corporate administration, machinists, supply chain professionals, and more. Be part of a workforce that is over 400 strong, supporting humanitarian, government, defense, and civil aviation operations around the world. For a career in aviation and beyond, learn more about open positions and career paths at voyav.com.
So that was just a little piece of the conversation with Darren Turcotte. It's actually an hour-long interview if you go to our YouTube channel. The spotlight is really, when we talked further into the interview, he told us about a book he wants to write, and he gave us some really good, interesting sort of thoughts on how we should be developing athletes, and you really want to check that out.
Yeah, he touched briefly on his time in Nashville where he finished up the career, where he got involved starting the AAA hockey program in the South there. And then that led to some of his other work with USA Hockey. And yeah, so he kind of riffed on some ideas that he has about the game. Some of those ideas that actually were eventually adopted by USA Hockey and then
multiple
Canada.
Teams on the same ice sheet, making better use of an efficient use. Yeah. And his suggestion of... he has a suggestion not to use scoreboards up until Pee-wee almost.
Yeah, and
that's controversial.
It would be controversial. It'd be probably a hard one, but it does make sense. And yeah, we go into a lot of detail about just that development and kids not being left behind. Yeah, I think was really the key part of that message. And it's true. Like the kid that doesn't get a chance to be participating with that top team is going to have a hard time when it comes time to try out the next year. So, yeah. Oh, that was a great interview. Lots to talk. I feel like we could have done that for another 2 hours and had a full length one.
We just scratching the surface with that guy. So it's a good one. Go check out that full interview.
And be sure, as we said, to check out their game on Saturday at the Gardens against Laurier at 8 p.m., looking to improve the record to 10-1. The third-ranked team in the province or in the country right now. So we'll see what they can do after that.
Yeah, no, good hockey for sure. The men's hockey's pretty cool too.
Yeah, so the men's hockey team, after those 2 big wins, they're going to try to keep the momentum going. They've got 2 games remaining before the break. They're going up against the 1-9 York Lions on the road tonight, and then they'll have a tougher set against the 14-1 and Concordia Stingers in Montreal next weekend.
A little bit of a Christmas, early Christmas gift to play the top team on the other side.
There's nothing like going to play those Quebec teams too, because it's really hard. They get really the opportunity to select all of the players that come out of the queue want to go there, and there's really only 4 teams participating in the Quebec side of it. So, yeah, it's always tough when you're playing UQTR or McGill. So,
but they're not expected to win, so they can go in there as the underdogs, and it's not like you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be able to try your hardest, and it might happen.
And they always play tough when they're in Montreal or anywhere in Quebec. They really, they give it their all, and they're great games. And there's been lots of upset wins and stuff over the years. So hopefully Coach McParland can get the boys rolling and go into the break with that better record.
Well, last weekend they beat Laurier back-to-back, and got some good video from that. I was at the overtime victory on Saturday night. It was 4-3. We have interviews with the 5 local products that are with the Lakers. Reese Proulx and Zach Roy, their goalies.
Goaltending tandem,
It was cool talking to Zach. I haven't seen him for many years. He was actually on one of Dylan's team in East Nipissing, playing 2 years up.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the video I have of him from actually playing at a very small age, and he was really good.
Oh yeah, and I mean went on to go play for the Hamilton Bulldogs and had a great junior career, and finished off. They went to a national championship when he was playing Junior A in I think his last overage year. And then it came to Nipissing, and then you've got Reese as well, who followed him up and played the following year in the national championship for another Tier 2 team. And, Reese had played some games for the battalion, so great products, did a great job with...
Good kids.
Going through, yeah.
It's nice talking to them.
Nice to see, North Bay and its goaltending connection, huh?
Yeah, and we also have Payton Vescio, Pacey Schlueting, and Ben Brunette.
Yeah. Again, amazing to have those guys in. Both Payton and Pacey spent time with the battalion. Ben was down at, I hope I got this right, UMass playing NCAA, and all kind of transferring in here and helping contribute. And amazing to have local product, getting to play in the gardens, back home in front of friends and family.
Well, that's what it's all about. I was when the Lakers started up, that's what I thought would have been really special to see is local players getting to play with them and to have 5. And they talk about how easy it is to join the team when there's other guys from North Bay that they've played with in midget, bantam, and going up.
Yeah, well, it's that North Bay connection, having that on the team, really good, and hopefully going to carry things into the second half.
Yeah. So let's hear from the goalies first, and then we'll talk to the defensemen. Zach, so I was at the game on Saturday night, a nice overtime win. You made a couple key saves right at the end. How did that feel to get that in hometown?
Felt great. That was, first win of the year, so it was a long time coming, but, the boys helped me out and potted 4 in the OT winner, so, yeah, it was nice.
It looks like the goalie tandem's really holding them in there, giving them a chance. A lot of real close losses. Do you feel the momentum changing?
Yeah, absolutely. We've, Reese and I have played well all year, and every game we keep our team in it feels like. So, it's nice to be rewarded with some wins.
So you had a long trail. I remember you way back east, Nipissing Vipers, right?
Yeah.
You were playing 2 years up at the time, I think. A long trail. What's the difference between the OHL and this?
A lot of OHL graduates come and play in this league. It's, it's a tough league. It's fast. It's older, and a lot of players are striving to keep on playing. So, yeah, it's a great league.
I like it. It's really good hockey. It's fast. It's rough. It's anything can happen. Laurier was a tough team. They looked like they were trying to drag some guys into the deep water.
Yeah, that's how they play, big and physical, and we did a great job of not getting sucked in too much into that stuff, and we kept our head cool, and we came out on top both games.
So the team looks like it's finding its form there. I was at the game Saturday night, and you had the same view as I did, a nice overtime win. What do you think of the chances of being able to start racking up a few more points?
Yeah, I think coming down the final stretch here, we're going to have to, because we had a really not great start. So hopefully we can do that.
Well, you guys have been keeping them in the games, and they've been close. So it's not like you're not in there. I know you guys had a bunch of injuries as well. Does that seem to be balancing out?
Yeah, we got a few guys. Like Kyle came back. He's been like goal per game, I think. So that's big for us since we've had a tough time scoring right now. So hopefully we keep scoring, and me and Zach can keep keeping the puck out. So yeah, hopefully that'll help.
Well, tell me about that challenge of being able to game in, game out, know that you got a little bit of offensive droughts, and you got to keep the team in. If you don't, it's all on you guys. How's that feel?
Yeah, it's just part of it, just part of being a goalie, I guess. So it's fun. It helps you focus, I guess. So yeah.
So once in a while, I'm in behind you trying to get some video, and got a couple good saves. But does that bother you to know that camera's on you?
No, I don't really notice that stuff at all. No, yeah, try and be in the zone. So. Yeah.
Well, tell me about some of your defensive players that make a difference and make you feel confident out there.
Yeah, I think Brunette and Schlueting, they do a lot out there for me. All of our D, all 8 of them. They give it their all. They're blocking shots. They're getting pucks off the glass and helping me out. So
you actually grow up and develop into quite the hockey player. I've noticed you're playing a leadership role out there.
Yeah, it's my fourth year now. I've gotten quite an opportunity from Coach Mike and the rest of the staff. They've put me in a very good position to be successful this year, and it's been a bit of an up and down start for the team this year, but we're looking to go on the right page now.
You're wearing the visor. What is that for?
So in practice a couple weeks ago, I got a puck in the face and split my chin open. So I'm just waiting for it to fully recover before I go back to the half visor.
You're going to have a nice little scar there for telling tales, I guess, eh? What do you think about the team's chances in the second half finishing up here? You guys had a lot of close games, some heartbreakers there. What do you think you can do in the second half?
So, yeah, we played some good teams in the first part of the season. So, we didn't get all the wins we wanted, but we're hitting our stride at the right time. So I'm excited for the second half. I think we'll turn some heads.
So I was looking at the schedule. I guess you're not back home for till after the new year. What's it like to have that type of break in between?
It's actually a little more difficult than people would think because you have so much time off. So you're sitting around on your couch. You're kind of just lounging around. So it's tough. You got to kind of stay in shape, be in the gym, and hopefully get on the ice a couple times during the break.
How does it feel to be able to come up through the local hockey and then to get at the university level and do it here in front of your hometown friends?
Oh, it's great. I got to play minor hockey in North Bay here, and then fortunately enough, I was drafted by the battalion and played for the battalion here. So I've never really left home that much, just a couple years in Hamilton in the OHL. So it's been great having my parents around and enjoying the ride.
Describe this team compared to last year's team.
We have a bit more youth this year. We didn't lose a lot of guys, but we brought in some younger guys. So there's a bit of a learning curve for the younger guys, but they're doing well. And now I think they've started to understand the league and how physical and old it is. So I think they're hitting their stride.
So you know some of these players for quite a while. It seems like there's a lot of chemistry out there. Talk about some of the other players on the team.
Yeah, so obviously we've got a good 2 goalies. They keep us in every game. They do a great job of helping us get at least a win, hopefully, if not a point every night. They do a great job. We got some returning scorers, as like Harrison Keynes had 15 goals last year, almost 40 points. He had a good year. Charles Farmer, another skilled forward on our team, had a bunch of points. So, yeah, they're just building off successful years and keeping it going into this year.
So the team's had, been close to a lot of wins, but they're starting to get on the winning side of the brackets. How does it feel to come together a bit?
It feels great. We're picking up, right where we left off last year, about to jump into playoffs last year, and we're going to finish strong coming into the Christmas break. And I think we're building on a lot of positives right now. So hopefully we put ourselves in a good position coming out after the break.
Tell me about some of your line mates and the teammates that are making it a fun and challenging season so far.
Teammates are great. The boys are really, really coming together. We're hanging out a lot, doing lots together, and the team cohesion is really, really strung together here over these last couple of weeks. And we're building on the little things and the positives and the details. And we're practicing really hard and coming together in practice and pushing each other. So it's been really good. A little challenging at times, but we're definitely headed in the right direction.
Now, how does it feel to be able to play in hometown and know a bunch of the guys already on the team?
It's awesome. I played with Reese Proulx and Brunette my whole life, and here and there with Vescio and Roy. So it's been good to be home and play with some familiar faces, and you get to play in front of your friends and family every night. So it's definitely been a good experience coming home after being gone for a few years.
What's Mike like as a coach?
Mike, he's a great guy, pushes us hard in practice and always tries to get the most out of everybody, and it's really showing within the last couple of games here, and we're picking it up and pulling together. So he's been doing a good job of pulling everything out of us over these last couple of weeks and making sure we're heading in the right direction.
What's one thing the team needs to do in the next couple of games before the Christmas break to sort of feel comfortable going into the next half?
Next couple games, just focus on playing a full 60 minutes. We can't have any laps in our games. There's some times where we fall asleep for a few minutes and we got a few goals scored against us. So the big thing for us is just playing a full 60 and coming out with 2 points.
Yeah, this isn't the kind of league where you can slack off for any time at all, eh?
No, yeah, it's a tough league. It's heavy and it's hard, and there's a lot of good players who have played in the OHL, WHL, major junior, like high-level junior A. So, it's a tough league. It's not easy playing every night, and so it's really important to get 2 points whenever you can.
Did you realize university was going to be this competitive when you're coming up? Did you have university on your mind at all?
Yeah, throughout, like when I played in the OHL, I followed it here and there, followed the top programs out east and in the OUA, and I'd always see there's tons of high-skilled players leaving the OHL and furthering their academics and going to play university hockey. So it was always on my mind, and I always knew it was a good league, and I'm happy to be here.
So was that the game Saturday night? It was a rough one. It looked like it could have went either way, but you guys worked hard to get back in it and won in overtime. How did that feel?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. The guys had a lot of fun. It was good to compete and get a win finally. Hopefully we can stick with it and squeeze a couple more out before Christmas.
Are all the teams like Laurier? They look like they were trying to drag people into the deep waters there.
Yeah, Laurier is pretty chippy. We knew that going in, but it's a lot of fun getting in the dirty areas and having fun out there.
Yeah, it looked like you don't mind that.
No, I really enjoy it. It's fun, gets you involved in the game, and it's a lot of fun.
What do you think are your chances with the team going forward? It's been a hard start for the team because of the competition and some injuries. But the second half after New Year's, what do you think you can do?
Yeah, it's looking good. Team's starting to click a bit better. We got a lot of guys back, and I think we're feeling good going into the second half. So, see what we can do.
Who are some of the guys that you think might are right in a position to step it up and help out?
There's a lot of guys. Our forwards are really starting to get better, putting pucks in the net. Same with the D. So I think just all around, a lot of guys are going to step up here in the second half and finish the year off strong.
How's it feel to be able to play in front of hometown friends and stuff and to be here at the Gardens?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Finish out your hockey career at home around friends and family. A lot of my buddies have been coming out and having fun, so it's good to see.
Where are some of the places you've been other than this?
I've been all over the place. Last year I was just outside of Boston at UMass Lowell. I was in Penticton before that, in the States for a year, and spent another year in BC, so I've kind of been all over the place.
Is it better to be able to sleep in your own bed once in a while?
Yeah, for sure, and Mom's home-cooked meals isn't bad too, so.
Finally, in Nipissing action this weekend, the basketball teams are on the road at Western tonight, and they'll be in Windsor on Saturday. The volleyball teams host Western Friday and Saturday night.
So for today's Heritage Moment, I actually dug up one of the Back in the Bay magazines, my magazine, the Winter 2022 edition. I did a story after Ryan won his first Grey Cup, and it was pretty cool. In the research for that story, I found out that he's the 7th North Bay athlete to win a Grey Cup over the years, aside from Mike O'Shea. And there's been about a dozen Grey Cup wins. Now there's been probably 13 now. This is number 13th for Ryan's ring here. And O'Shea actually wears half the ring total himself, so he has 6 rings, 3 CFL championships as a Hall of Fame linebacker playing for Toronto in 96, 97, 2004. Then another 3 as a coach, beginning as a special teams boss in Toronto in 2012. Then 2 more when he was coaching with Winnipeg, 2019 and 2021. He's had a little bit of a slide there recently, getting to the final, a bit of a bridesmaid thing happening, but that 3rd ring's going to come. Bob Marshall kicked off the Gateway City Ring Collection in 1952 as an Argo. He was followed by Grant McKee and Rip Riopel with the Hamilton Ticats in 1963. And Bain Norrie won it with Edmonton in 75 and Blaine Schmidt with Toronto in 1991. People are saying Hunter is also one of the 12 pros who have won both CFL and NFL championships. His Super Bowl ring coming with the Kansas City Chiefs, beating the 49ers in 2020. It was great to do that story and to really look into the history with these other gentlemen, Sports Hall, North Bay Sports Hall of Famers. So check out their website and look at their bios, because these are the guys from the past that paved the way for the athletes of today.
North Bay Minor Hockey has their Challenge Cup tournament. So that's a house league tournament that's going to be on. They're going to be utilizing all the rinks in the area, and another great tournament. Teams traveling from Sudbury and New Liskeard and, up from Huntsville. So it's going to be great to have those kids. So if you're in town looking to watch some hockey, go check those kids out and cheer them on, because it'll be packed rinks with lots of excited parents.
Yeah, the weather's crap anyway. So get out of the house and go to one of our tournament rinks and see what's happening, and you'll see the state of the rinks now that we're going to have a new one in a couple of years. They just approved at council, which is
so
good.
Can't wait till there's a shovel in the ground. That's when I'll feel really confident that this thing's going to happen. But it was exciting to hear that, and I'm really happy that we're moving forward. For the people that don't know, maybe don't have kids in hockey, maybe don't understand and appreciate how much this is going to impact the city, because whether it's the businesses and the hotels and the restaurants that benefit from people from coming out of town, it's also the people who we hope to move to town. We need to have these types of facilities for the young people who are growing up and starting their families. They're going to be able to make a choice. They want that for their kids, and if we don't have it, they'll go somewhere else. So for everybody that says something about, I'm not in hockey or that doesn't matter to me, you don't realize how much that affects. And if you want somebody to be taking care of you and make sure this town runs well, it's going to be important to have those facilities to attract people.
Well, the way I explain it to people that say I don't have kids and that we're not involved in that and we don't care is that, okay, your taxes will be paying for policing and the courts and jails, because if the kids aren't raised with some kind of and you'll see that in our interview with Darren, he talks about the impact is helping raise good people, right? And if you get good people involved with the sports, they can help raise better kids.
Couldn't agree more.
And by the way, we already have about $3 million in the ground, because of the previous design.
Yes,
I have to mention
the Trident. Oh yeah, no, I could go on for days about how ridiculous that idea was. So I'm glad that's dead and buried. But it's exciting. I know last year on my daughter's hockey team, we would do the live cast from the different arenas while we were going, and it felt like every single arena we would walk into is like, why can't we build this? So that looks like the direction that they're going, and we're going to go with the traditional rink. I'm glad they got the walking track in. That is great to have, and it's going to help with some of the deficiencies maybe Omichelle had as well. So some change rooms for the football guys, and just add more parking. And again, it's great for the city.
Well, we mentioned it in the Echo Essentials podcast that we recorded this week for next Thursday. Mm-hmm. We had Gary Gardner, counselor, back in, and we talked about that. And it was some interesting exchanges, because he was sort of rationalizing the cost and where the money's coming from, and I kept coming up with these other sort of things, and it was kind of fun. I did find out, because I was curious about the parking there, because I went to the NDA football final, and there was nowhere to park. And so I asked, and I found out that there's going to be a net increase in parking of 112 spots for the new twin pad. I still don't think that's quite enough.
I don't either.
But it's a start. Yeah. And they also, there's some other options for them in and around there for parking. We'll see how that works out. But parking is an issue, and, sports is more than just goals and results. It's this infrastructure we have to build for it, and that end of the town is going to benefit from it for sure.
Yeah, and without going into too much politics, and what the cost is, it's too bad. If it had been built, 20 years ago, and we had kept up with that sort of thing, we wouldn't be looking at that cost. So it's tax dollars saved back then, I guess, or tax dollars that are having to be spent now.
I think they have to borrow something like $17 million, and they're going to amortize it over 20, and then it breaks down to a certain percentage increase of, I think, 0.25% increase in taxes if they don't have any other things like replacement or arenas that go bye-bye.
Yeah.
I had to bring it in about the double stinks, and what are they going to do with that in 5 years, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a topic for a whole nother show. So.
It is. Anyways, thanks for joining us for the Echo Sportscast number 10.
I'm Paul McLean.
And I'm Dave Dale. Glad to do it. Love having the sports. Everybody says they want local, so like, share, and comment, and that helps. Appreciate it.
I'm Natasha Laframboise, sales representative with the Laframboise team at Realty Executives Local Group Inc. Brokerage. We are a local real estate team here in North Bay. Our team of sales representatives, Matt Laframboise, Phil Seguin, and Adam Legros, are ready to help you through the buying and selling experience. We have been providing service to the North Bay and area community for over 17 years. Our goal is to provide knowledge, support, and guidance in order to prepare your home for sale, bring it to market using multiple selling strategies, and get it sold. As a home buyer, we have 2 buyer's agents ready to help you find your home sweet home. If you'd like to know more, check us out on our website, laframboiseteam.ca. We are always happy to help.